I've got issues here, and the issues is the recent uprise in West Africa by several francophone countries. They are saying Mali is trying to break away from the colonial treaties from the France. This is not a myth, it's a fact. It is trying to break away from the colonial master syndrome because the colonial masters made it very clear. We are going to leave the country, but we are going to make sure we have the treaties. We're going to manipulate these treaties in a remote control. And if we put a regime to govern and control our treaties, and then it absconds, we have got what we call coup d'etat mechanism. That is why France and all its colonies are lagging behind in terms of development, because French colonies, they were never given ultimatum to self-govern effectively and freely, democratically. The puppets are still pulling the strings, and that is one of the reasons why there's no development in Mali. There's no development in Senegal. All West African francophone countries, there is no development at all. Up to date, all these francophone former colonies, they pay colonial masters taxes to Paris, amounting to almost 500 billion US dollars yearly. Where does this money go to? It is built in France. What can be done to reduce this? Could this be the reason why there are so many coup d'etat in francophone countries? Maybe that is the case. Who knows? We're gonna know as the time goes by. It is so saddening to see a country like Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Cape Verde, up to date. The infrastructure in place is for serving the French government. It is so sad to see all the francophone former colonies, they are still intact through military cooperations, because in each and every state that was a former colony of French government has standing by soldiers from Paris. They pretend to be peacekeepers, but they are standing by to protect the incumbent regime that is operated remotely by the Paris. This hegemony relationship ceased to exist. Recently, we witnessed the uprising of the more democratically elected people in parliament in South Africa, advocating the EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters Party members advocating for a transition. They demonstrated all the way to the French embassy in Pretoria, and the reason why they did so is because they want to send a clear continental Pan-African message to the outreach of the colonizers. We don't want you. Free Africa. Julius Malema, he spoke about it, and he handed over the memorandum of understanding between the EFF party, that's a Pan-Africanist, with the French diplomats at the embassy. This is a warning sign for the things to come. If francophone colonies are not going to be free, we are going to witness more and more chaotic coup d'etats and even incumbent leaders being assassinated. Mali detracted itself from French and opted to seek the residue of an independent military mighty by the name Russia. Why? They need to safeguard their freedom from one treaty to another. That is not what we call free, independent declaration.